Welcome to EYE on Sci-Fi podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 227 of EYE on Sci-Fi podcast, the podcast where we share with you terrific indie, science fiction and fantasy, online short films, web series, and other closely related media. We also on occasion have conversations with the talented and interesting creators who are producing outstanding indie speculative work. This episode is going to be in memoriam to a groundbreaking television actor who recently passed away. And that actor is Mr. Terry Carter. Now, for those of you all who are not familiar with Terry Carter, Mr. Carter was cast in the original Battlestar Galactica series that aired on ABC in 1978 as Colonel Tigh. And what is notable about his casting is that along with his fellow castmate on the show, Herbert Jefferson, who was the original Lieutenant Boomer, there were not that many Black people during that era of television who were cast on television, period, but particularly in science fiction and television series. And so the fact that in the original Battlestar Galactica, you had not one but two Black characters who had significant supporting roles on that series, that was historic. And Mr. Carter's role as Colonel Tigh was also really impactful because Colonel Tigh was second in command of the Galactica. The original commander of the Galactica, Commander Adama, was portrayed by actor Lorne Greene. And many of you all may be familiar with him because Lorne Greene was the patriarch in the television Western series Bonanza, but he was the original Commander Adama, and Terry Carter's Colonel Tigh was second in command. And so, again, at that time, you did not see Black people hold roles like that on television. So Mr. Carter passed away in April of 2024. He passed away on April 23rd. And personally, I don't believe that Mr. Carter got the recognition in his life that he deserved for his illustrious career, including his groundbreaking role on Battlestar Galactica. So I want to do my part to pay homage. Now, Terry Carter was an actor, an Emmy-winning producer, best known, again, as the original Colonel Tigh on Battlestar Galactica, but he was also well known for his role as Sergeant Joe Broadhurst on the television detective series McCloud that starred Dennis Weaver back in the mid to late 70s. Terry Carter was born in Brooklyn, and he left college early to pursue a career as an actor, first working the stage and then quickly transitioning to the screen. His first big break came in 1955 when he got the part of Private Sugarman on the Phil Silvers Show, also known as Sergeant Bilko or You'll Never Get Rich. The role made Carter one of the first Black actors on an American TV sitcom, a role he played for 92 episodes. Now, Mr. Carter had smaller television parts throughout the 1960s, including appearances on shows like Combat, Dr. Kildare, and others. But also, he broke ground from 1965 to 1968 when he was the first Black TV news anchor on WBZ-TV in Boston. In the 1970s, he made the transition to the big screen in Blaxploitation films like Foxy Brown, and also playing Officer Tuttle in the family classic Benji, among many others. However, his two major claims to fame were his supporting roles in McCloud, the detective show, and then when he was cast in Battlestar Galactica as Colonel Tigh. And the original Battlestar Galactica only ran for one season from 1978 to 1979 on ABC. In the mid-70s, Mr. Carter also began his own production company where he produced hundreds of documentaries that went on to garner much acclaim and accolades. He also produced a documentary for the American Master series on PBS centering Duke Ellington. And for that, he won an award, the CINE Golden Eagle and Golden Antenna Award for that episode. Mr. Carter remained active throughout his life, and he was a fan favorite because of his role as Colonel Tigh on Battlestar Galactica. I remember when Battlestar Galactica debuted, I was 9 years old, and I cannot impress upon you the impact of seeing a regal, charismatic Black man that had a major supporting role on a science fiction television show in 1978. That young Black boy that would grow up to become me always remembered Terry Carter's performance on Battlestar Galactica. And it is something that just really is an indelible mark, not only on television as a whole, but also on the lives of many other Black people who saw themselves in roles typically not given to them. The same is with Nichelle Nichols, who 10 years prior broke ground by becoming the first Black woman on a science fiction television series, Star Trek, the original series. So Mr. Carter had a lot of notable contributions to the entertainment industry, and for that, I want to do my part to pay homage to him. Rest in power, Terry Carter. Okay, that's it for this episode, everyone. Thank you again for listening. And let me remind you to visit our link tree that is in the show notes of this episode, because using that link tree, you will be able to visit our home website, the7thmatrix.com, where you can explore all of our other podcast episodes, as well as the other independent sci-fi and fantasy short films, web series, and other closely related media that we have curated on the site. I also need to ask you to sign up for our new daily micro newsletter. It's free, and each and every day, Monday through Friday, we will send you one speculative news item. So that can be a book, television show, or film recommendation, a podcast episode, either EYE on Sci-Fi or another podcast involving the genre that we think that you will enjoy, and more. And for signing up and supporting us in that way, you will receive a token of our appreciation. And then finally, I also need to ask you to please leave us a review and rating wherever you get your podcast, because that really does help others find us. And we appreciate all of that a great deal. So remember, until next time, everyone, take a break, escape the mundane, and enter the fantastic. Take care.